We're back. It's been one hell of a day. Kat's not here today, so we are on the wide camera. I've been looking at the wrong camera for the first 14 seconds. This is a fantastic start. I kicked off with a stutter. I then spent the next 15 seconds looking at the wrong camera. We're having a good day today, Timbo. How are you, my friend?
I do love Easter Monday, but it sets things back a little bit. It becomes a busy few days, but look, we don't have the toughest job in the world, Roo. We sit here and we talk footy and SuperCoach, so not complaining, but it has been a couple of busy days, so we're dragging our tail a little bit. We're playing catch up.
We are playing catch up. Excuse the pun because she's gone home, but we are playing catch up. We're doing our very best though. That's why we're on the wide shot today, guys, and we'll be reading the questions ourselves. Way we're going to do it, we're going to do a rock off. Loser of the rock off reads out the first question, other person answers, then we'll go vice versa, vice versa, vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice. And then we'll be finished.
Well done.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I know what you're throwing today as well.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sure you do though. Scissor, paper, rock. Scissor, paper, rock. Fuck, shit. All right, you go. Oh, God, I've been waiting for this question. Take us away.
All righty, one from S. Conley. Do we consider selling Nico, and is he no longer a captaincy option?
Yeah, look, I haven't been on the Nico train all year. I've been very against it and everything, but I'm not sure if he's a sell, to be honest with you. I think the Sharkies are looking much better the last 2 weeks. I think they're starting to find their balance with this halves combination. I think you will have weeks where he's a little bit down, but I think the decent weeks will sort of square up for that. This origin period is going to be tough. I haven't looked at his draw, but at least he's going to be available during that period. So I probably wouldn't be selling him, and you probably all expected me to be very anti, but I don't think he's going anywhere near as badly as what people are carrying on with. What are your thoughts?
He's averaging 66 points.
Yep.
It's down for Nico. You can't ignore that. He's not having his best SuperCoach year by any means. The Sharks are ticking along well enough, but he's still scoring relatively well. Tigers and Eels into Manly the next 3 weeks. It's a great draw. Spy had a great stat on the Playbook podcast last night. He had something like 78 receipts, which was up from about like 50 or 55 per game. So,
good.
Yeah, so massive numbers. You can't captain him at the moment, no way, but you don't sell him, and he probably becomes a buy over the origin period where he has quite a good draw.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And even like for me, as someone who's a Cleary owner, with those stats you read out on Beers and Breakevens a little bit earlier today, go watch it. Great show. I would even genuinely consider going to Nico.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, Border Athletics. If you didn't sell Galvin last week, would you risk playing him this week? Thankfully, you're not the Tigers because we already know the answer. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, it's a very, very, very fascinating one, Lockie Galvin, because we had a bit of a chat again about 5'8" on Beers and Braves. We didn't actually mention Galvin for obvious reason, but for those who do own him, as long as he's starting in the team, you hold him, you play him for sure. Like, he's a terrific SuperCoach player in a 5'8" position that is quite tricky this season. So, yeah, I mean, look, Latu Fine has every chance to be starting 5'8" in a week's time, but until then, you just hold on to him at 5'8", I think.
Now, whilst I'm answering my question, can you just check Galvin's ownership? I'm just interested.
Yep.
If I was a Galvin owner and you didn't sell him last week and it's played out the way it has and he's back in first grade in this Tigers side, I'd be playing him 100%. I'd actually be stoked with how it's played out. I hope a lot of people sold last week, and the ones that stayed strong for this week saw the Jaden Campbell injury, all that sort of stuff, and just held on to him, because I'd be stoked if I'd held on to him and I could play him this week. It's all a bit weird and whatnot, but I'd be happy to play him. What's his ownership?
3.9% among top-ranked teams.
Fucking oath you play that motherfucker. I would be so happy with how it's played out. It might turn to shit eventually. You can sell him when that time comes, but what you do know is that he's an elite SuperCoach player and no one's buying him.
Yeah.
You're one of the few. I back it.
All right, next question from Charlie Beaufort. Is Riley Smith a viable downgrade option for a reserve hooker spot now? Playing 80 minutes with and there's Mitch Moses back, look good. I noticed he kicked the last conversion of the game to A Man Can Dream. What are your thoughts on Riley Smith? We're both owners.
A man can dream, and a man will continue to dream. He will not be the goal kicker, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think so. What price is he at? Is he at like 250, 260 or something now? Bit higher. Guys, like he played 80 minutes on the weekend. He scored 37. He kicked a goal. So if you take that out, which he won't get every week, he scored 33 in 80 minutes. The minutes are great. Don't get me wrong. And I've said for a long time, I think the attacking stats will come. Watching him the other day with Mitch Moses and Dill Brown, I think his job is simple: make your tackles and get good service to these halves. We play all of our footy through them. So I'm an owner. I'm not beside myself upset about it, but I don't think I'd be buying Riley Smith socks. And I'm going to have to fall on my sword a little bit because I've been very high on him all season, but I'm not as convinced. What about you?
Do you want another 2 minutes or can I jump in?
Fuck you, go.
283K Riley Smith. I'm a happy owner, but we had a good chat again on Playbook last night about the potential of going enough at hooker and doing that. If you're going down that avenue, I would buy Riley Smith. But all things being equal, for the reasons you mentioned, Roo, like it'll be early service to Brown and Moses, ticking along nicely, somewhat playable. The 80 minutes is key. He's had no attacking stats. Something will come eventually.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, like he's not looking overly playable at the moment. So yeah, if you're freeing up cash, I don't mind it, but I probably would be looking elsewhere.
All right, from Mitch, is it time to buy Toby Couchman at 616K, averaging 71 with a break even of 20?
I think we screwed that order up, but that's all right, mate. I'm going to just throw to you because you've had a big look into Toby Couchman. All I will say is before you rattle off your stats and what your thoughts are, I'm just not looking to bolster 2RF front row at the moment. I kind of want to focus on a few other positions. Gun CT Dubs is one of those positions and chase the higher upside. Goodbye, but I'm focusing elsewhere. You love him.
You read the last one. I read this one, right?
Yeah, but I just spoke about Riley Smith. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know.
Well, yeah, look, people don't want to hear from you anyway. Toby Couchman, I had a good look at him last night. I had a very good look at him. If I didn't want to make other pod plays in my CTW, I think he's a good little buy. He's not cheap. I get it. He's not one of the big names you're buying. 600K is a lot to spend, but guy is just base statting out of his ass week in, week out. And earlier in the season, I thought, okay, big minutes. Is it injuries? Is it HIAs? They're all there. They're all fit. They're all available. He is playing enormous minutes. Gula has come onto the bench, which is the only little concern I have, that he could potentially get more minutes than Blake Lowry because he didn't piss in the coach's coffee. But I still think Couchman will be okay. I like it as a buy. I can't do it myself, but if I had less fires to put out, I would like to do it myself. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's got a 3-round average of 82, largely in work rate. Few sort of not major attacking stats, but minor sort of attacking stats in there. He's pumping out some unbelievable numbers.
Yeah.
Not for my team. I'm going to chase the upside CT Dubs just to round out my 17.
Yep.
But I'm not knocking anyone who wants to do it. But my concern is what you said, is he's been playing huge minutes. There has been injuries at times. So do they continue with Gula back? Maybe they do, but not for me.
Yeah.
All right, next one from Chris. Should Jacob Preston be higher on radars with an average of 74 and the doggies hot form?
Yeah, I guess maybe he should. I mean, he scored a few tries this year and whatnot, but mate, I look at him every week and I feel like he's a good bet for an anytime try scorer every week because that's just who the guy is. Gets through a lot of work. The Canterbury Bulldogs are doing well. Yeah, maybe he should be considered more. I feel like 2RF for me, Timbo. I'm somewhat ignoring it. I feel like there's a few more problems there than what I'm willing to admit, but I just keep on getting distracted by other spots. I do fear that he could land a bench spot in an Origin side. I think he's a good chance to, and I think if there's one or two injuries, I think he'll be one of the first guys picked if they have injuries. So not for me, but should he be higher on radars? Yes.
Yeah, look, I can't knock it. As you mentioned, 74 average there. Like, you can compare him to Couchman, right? Couchman has the duel. Couchman will base more. Granted, like Preston the last 2 weeks has had a base of 53 and 56. I just like the upside of Preston where in this doggy side, he'll continue to score tries. He can pump out tons. Not to say Couchman can't if he jags a try, but he's very, work rate based. So, look, the reality is they probably both finished the season averaging about 70 on the dot and quite similar, but I do like the Preston upside. I don't think he'll play Origin just because we have so many back rowers.
Yep.
A few injuries and he'll be close, but I do think he needs a few injuries to get in there. So, yeah, mate, I can't knock the Preston by one bit.
All right, Lockie Robbins, thoughts on bringing in Cobo, 774K, assuming he plays fullback. What are your thoughts?
I'm keen to see. Like, I'm not buying him, and obviously you wouldn't buy him this week with the Doggies match up with their defence. I just like, if he can get a few more runs in, tackle bus, like he'd be paying for he hasn't re-signed or anything, has he?
I don't think so.
Just in this little period of looking for a new contract, he'd be sitting there going, if I have 3 good games at fullback while Walsh is out and kill it, my value for my next contract adds another 300 grand a year onto it. These little things. So, no, you wouldn't go early on Cobo, but I'm keen to look. Does he play Origin?
I assume he will, but I'm not hyper confident on it. Was that a little drop ball there?
Yeah, I was actually low-key hoping someone picked up on that because it was good hands.
Little error, -2. We've got it on the wide shot, so we will get it. Bulldogs this week, Panthers the week after if they're back. Geez, that'll be good. Magic round, Panthers, Broncos. That'll be a cracker. Not for me. I do understand the points you're making to me about contract and all that sort of stuff, but he's too much of a punt for me to take at the moment. I think if you've already got him, which there's a weird amount of people that do, I would be excited to hold him and just see what happens. But yeah, not the play for me as it stands.
Break even of 83, a 2-week watch. Well, then he goes into Dragons buy. But big watch, but yeah, no way would you go early.
Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
Here we go. To wrap it up, one from the Roo Crew. What's been your best dress up you've worn at a party?
Oh, toughie. You know me, mate. I don't like having fun, so hard to pick. I do think I've told the story before about how we once were going to a party and we didn't know it was a dress-up party, and Beck dressed us all up as Sims. She got a heap of coat hangers and put the green things. I thought that was very creative. Probably my favourite, I reckon it was a 21st maybe. I went as the guy on the front of the more chilly pokey. I was pretty happy with that one. That was pretty niche.
Oh, my goodness.
Not a single chick got it. Every dude got it and loved it. So that was a good result. What about you?
You're going to love mine. I can't remember the exact theme of the party. I have a feeling it was something like the person's name. You had to go based on their initials, their name. It was FG or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went as Frank Grimes from The Simpsons.
Mad,
so I dressed up as a square, like just in this like suit and white shirt. And I literally bought a box of pencils and I chewed them to bits, taped them together and put them in the front pocket.
That's very good.
Yeah, I thought you might like that.
I'm very impressed with that. Yeah. We had a kid in our year, shout out to James Mabry, who was a dead ringer for Frank Grimes. We used to give it to him all the time. Very cool character though, but just had a bit of Grimesy about him.
Simpson, you in outer space? Yeah, you've never been.
One of the most underrated Simpsons characters by far and away.
The best Simpsons episode of all time, far and away.
Frank Grimes, you reckon?
100%.
Ooh, yeah,
unbelievable.
Fair argument. It is a fair argument.
That's we won for next week.
Now, we actually had a question in the Roo Crew that was for us, and it would have been great if Kat was here, asking our favourite Seinfeld episode ever. So I need you to catch up on 150 before next week.
Yeah, my favourite's currently the pilot.
It's so fucked. So
I'm up to it.
Fucking honey dicks me in like January. He's like, I'm watching Seinfeld now. I'm 2 episodes in. I'm like, how good? You're going to love it, mate. Wait for this. It's fucking April and he's watched 2 episodes still.
I might watch an ep tonight.
Robbery. You should. Please do. Just one a week.
All right.
One a week and you will be cruising.
All
right. That is us for the late show, guys. It's been one hell of a day, but we've made it to the other side. We've still got to upload it. Hopefully you guys can actually see this shit, but it's been a good day. And we'll be back to a little bit more normality. No, we won't. It's Magic Round next week. We won't be back to any normality. It'll get even more upside down. But we'll see you next week here on Biz and Breakevens.